Hello there, televiewers. Thanks for joining us on board yet another edition of NDAMBA on GPmEDIA television. We heartily welcome you all on board today's edition of this special edition of NDAMBA, which comes up every Thursdays afternoon. On board today's edition, we shall be discussing about the just ended Northwest divisional elections into the various bureau, as well as the delegates to the regional elections. And then we shall also on board today's edition be talking about the national interpolls. We are focusing on the semi-final games, the pairings for this afternoon, as well as taking a look at the appeals commission, which decided in favor of Kumba City. Then we shall also be talking about the open recruitment for clubs in Cameroon, finding out if it is worthwhile. We know for some time now we have many Cameroonian clubs who have to indulge themselves into open recruitment instead of the aspect of indulging themselves into specific players, recruiting them into their various teams. These topics and much more will constitute today's edition of NDAMBA on GPmEDIA television. I am Tasi Peter in Bamenda. You're once again highly welcome back. Joining us on board NDAMBA on GPmEDIA television. Today I'm not alone. I'm with the guests on board today's edition of NDAMBA. We begin with lady before gentlemen, so we begin with you. We have by this side we have Lenzemo Lakel, who is becoming one of the regular guests on board the NDAMBA program. So today we welcome you on board NDAMBA. Hello there, Lakel.
Hello, Tasi Peter. Hello to the viewers. I'm happy to be here again.
All right. We have to this side, we have one of also the regular guests on board NDAMBA, Atigi Samuel. You're welcome.
Thank you, Tasi Peter, for having me on GPmEDIA. Thank you, Lenzemo Lakel, that we have been able to meet again today for NDAMBA on GPmEDIA. Thank you so much.
All right, we shall be beginning right away to talk about the Northwest Divisional Football League elections. We know that the elections took place last weekend, and to know that we asked the final the question on our topic, the first one indeed, which says Northwest Divisional elections. Are the newly elected credible enough to lead in the various divisions? Maybe a quick comment. We begin with you, Lakel.
Of course, Tasi Peter, there are a lot of faces who are not new to football in the region and in the division. So I would say the newly elected, they are very capable. They are able for their post, the responsibility that they have taken up. I'm saying that, and I'm sure that they are able because I know some of them personally.
When you look at the list of majority of them are young people, are you sure and capable that are you sure they are going to be capable to why not lead comfortably the various divisions?
That is what we have been looking for in Cameroon as a whole. We need energetic people to actually lead. Looking at those on board, I'm sure they are ready to take advice from those who were there before, and they are ready to work. When you're young, you're energetic, so they are going to give him their best.
I think, Samuel, you witnessed the elections into the Divisional Football League. Maybe your quick comments?
Yes, thank you, Tasi Peter. I will say that Nelson Mandela made a comment that what counts in life is not the mere fact that we've lived, but it is the contribution we've made in the life of others that we determine the life that we lead. So I brought in this because those who were elected list, I know, let's say half of them, let's say 35 or 40% of them, and the quality and the credibility of the elections which I saw last week, I think they are promising to lead this region.
When you look at their youthfulness, are you comfortable that giving such power to the youths at this level, they will comfortably lead in the various divisions, owing to the fact that we know that the divisions produce teams to the regional level?
Yes, they are very young persons. They are very young people that I've known. And before engaging to come to elections activities, food activities, I've seen them done things in other organizations like Kamasech. For example, Tom Clinton. I've seen him, watch him be one of the leaders in the Anglophone Cameroon English-speaking journalist. That's the Northwest chapter, before becoming a leader for this for Momo. So I know that a few that I know their quality and all of that, and when talking to them one-on-one during interview sessions and during one-on-one conversation, I beg your pardon, I think they are going to do great within this their mandate. I think we give them the trust until they fail us.
All right, let's go from division to division. We have the Mezam division that's going to be headed by the president elect Ambe Samongwa. We have the first vice president, who is Ambe Nicasius Chio, and then we have the second vice Nze Bertrand Bong, who has been part and parcel of grooming some young talents in the region, whom we are saluting this particular point in time on board NDAMBA today. Then we have the delegates to the regional elections. We have Ambe Samengwa, we have Nze Bertrand Bong, we have Atanga Sufo. Any comments, or we move straight to the
Of course, I really want to comment on Mezam division. I must say, those are experienced people. They have teams. They have been in the world of football. They have sacrificed for football. That is why I say, Tassi Peter, they are able and capable for this particular job.
We have in Boyo, we have the president is Njo Bengang, who is the president. First vice is Ngong Albert, and the second vice is Emmanuel Ngo. We have the regional delegates. We have the delegates to the regional elections. We have Njo Bengang, we have Ngong Albert, and Young Pascal, who is part and parcel of Bello FC, whom we know so well. We have in Bui, we have the president is Kese Kingsley. We have Chi George. We have second vice is Ngum Richard, and then we have the delegates. We have for the Bui, Dimla Hansen, Kese Kingsley, and Shea Terence Ndifon. We know that it is made up of some coaches. One of the coaches for Itabon Ladies of Cambe.
Of course, Tassi Peter. That is why I say when they called for election, it was open for everybody in the region. Everybody as long as you are into sports, you are able to file in your application, and then if at all the delegates in that particular division happens to vote you, then you will actually have that particular post.
All right, moving on to Momo division, where we have the president is Tama Collins, the first vice Atta Karin, the second vice is Don Clinton. The delegates, we have Atta Karin, Don Clinton, and Tama Collins. Your comments, Atiki Samuel?
Yes, Tassi Peter. I think these are names that I've known before for more than at least 6-7 years, especially the name of Tama Collins and that of Don Clinton. These are people I've met in the field of play before, not only in the Northwest region, but I've met them elsewhere out of this region. They are very football in the region. So I think coming into play is just a way to say that I want to give back to the community. Because to me, I believe that leadership is giving back to your community. Yes, what they have experienced over the years in different football speeches, in different regions and in different places, I think they want to give back to their community. So all I can say is good luck to them, and I want that we do our heart to them, give them the full opportunity to prove themselves to us.
Just to add to what Atige is saying, Tasipita, we have been in the Northwest region and we've had the crisis, and many divisions have not been able to feel the warmth of football. So with these young people, I believe that they are going to go to the roots and look for those teams that might be representing the Northwest region, just like Dream Team.
All right, we hope for the best. Let's move on to the next division. Is Donga Mantung, where we have the president is Jinda Tambang Terence. The first vice is for Yembe, a name well known in the region. We have second vice president is Ngebi Kingsley. Delegates we have Jinda Tambang Terence, Shea Ronald, and for Yembe are the delegates in Donga Mantung. And then we have for the Ngokitunja division, we have the president is Babila McDonald. The first vice is Muma Jude Awa. Second vice is Franklin Mulu. The delegates we have Muma Jude, Babila McDonald, and Mingo Pius. I'm sure you have some comments, Atigi Samuel, given that this before even the start of these elections, we had some rumors about some protests coming from elite from the Donga, from Ngokitunja division, related to those persons who are not part and parcel of Ngokitunja, but they were elected in the bureau of the Ngokitunja division.
Very sure. In life, life must not go smooth all the time, sir. Mm-hmm. If someone from a division or from a particular locality is not ready to take on the command baton to lead the people, then another person must emerge. We shouldn't stay back because there's no one who is available to emerge. Some people shy away from these activities, but people come in to sit on and then see how to pilot the activities. Yeah. Yes, someone like Yembe for Carlson, I've known him for over 10 years. He is a social entrepreneur. He's an IT expert. Yembe runs a team, Graphic Sports Academy. Okay, Yembe has been to the United States of America under President Obama's leadership program called Mandela Washington Fellowship. He's a trained leader, and I think if you put in Yembe, you put in people like Babila, who is also one of the managers of Rush FM radio in Bamenda, and they put in people like Franklin, when we fondly call him Moja. I mean, these are people we see every day. They are on the football pitch, truth be told. Even though they may not be from those divisions where they have been elected, but I see them each time I go to the football pitch. I see them, they are enthusiastic persons, they love football, they want to promote football in the region. So if given them the opportunity to lead in any of the division, however, I don't know what the constitution of FECAFU says.
The criteria,
Yes, the criteria for selection or for election. But I think if there were enough persons in each division, the rumors that people are raising up that people are not from this division, I mean, those rumors will not be necessary. If these people are coming in, is because there were no persons to sit in, and those posts cannot be left vacant. You see, so that's it. So that's why I think that it's fine. They should pilot their affairs. It's not that you are from the division that you are a good leader, but let's watch them for this number of years, and then if they don't perform well, we'll come back here and then tell them that you didn't perform well. Give the report cards. They are sacked, and then those from the divisions who think they can perform better, then they should come in.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, we'll come back to that, to you, Lakel, in relation to that particular aspect about ineligibility issues with regards to the division elections. Let's conclude with that of Menchum division, where we have the president is Emmanuel G. We have the first vice Stephen Ojang. The second vice is Chombang Jacob. While the delegates we have Jem Mispa, Tangcho Henrietta Siri, and Emmanuel Nji. Now, on to you, Lakel. Same question to you with regards to what Atigi Samuel rightly talked about of just a few seconds ago, with regards to the ineligibility aspect, which many persons brought up on board the elections at the divisional elections, and we know For sure, I'm not maybe saying what you are to say, but of course, many persons say that it was clear that no matter where you are from, you know, this same issue happens in the southwest region, where many persons saw the likes of David Eto and some other persons elected into a divisional league, and they were quite surprised. But then, going into some findings, we saw that the process was quite done in a way that was eligible with regards to the divisional elections.
We all saw that communique that was sent out by FECAFOOT, and we all watched the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education talk about that same communique, calling on all Cameroonians who are interested in sports to actually prepare their files, so we will not have any complications, and we will not complain that there is corruption in FECAFOOT and the rest. Actually, somebody from UK sent me that communique. So if you are in the northwest region, you cannot get that communique, because if you're well informed, you'll be able to tender in your file. If you've not had your file on table, so why are you rioting? Why are you protesting? You did not actually tender your file and it was turned down. None of them did that. None of them, I know, did that. And I'm sure we saw pictures of those who were rioting. And we saw pictures of those who were rioting. We need to be informed, because if you are not informed, you always say you're deformed.
But do you see that they have a point with regards to saying that some persons were not part and parcel of, they are not from a division and they have been elected into the office of a particular division?
There is no point, Peter. What we want is to forge football ahead. We want football to go ahead, especially in this region. We love football in this region and we want it to move forward. So if we don't have those who are based in that division coming in, what should we do? And we have other people who are aware. They read the communique, they understand what the communique was saying. That was why they tendered in their application. If it was not correct, FECAFOOT would not actually validate their files. So if it is validated, then it's fine.
All right, we shall be moving on to our machines to get the report on the divisional elections, and also cutting across that, getting the protests that happened just before the elections took place last Saturday. Let's listen to this report, courtesy of Arnold Kwam.
On September 13, 2025, some football stakeholders in the region, believed to be members of the former bureau, came out with messages citing corruption, the presence of ghost voters, ghost clubs, ghost divisional leagues, no subvention for the past 4 years. The angry persons called for the cancellations of the elections and also called on the president of FECAFOOT, Samuel Eto'o, to resign.
With due respect to the hierarchical authorities that be, we vehemently say no to FECAFOOT elections in the Northwest region inter alia. Applies with the divisional elections which have been bastardized by the stifle system. So we vehemently reiterate that we say no.
While crying in a confined environment in Kwen, Bamenda 3 subdivision, their tears ended on social media as the elections of the various bureau members and delegates went on smoothly at Ayaba Hotel in Bamenda.
The main objective of this exercise is just to ensure that football plays at the level of the divisions. So as it's happening, we are very happy that people could come together and decide that one person takes the leadership position this time and maybe another person will take it the next time. We've seen the enthusiasm in their faces and the enthusiasm on the faces of the various club presidents, and we've given them just one challenge. When they get back, you know, some of the divisions are playing out of those divisions. Our wish is that these divisions take the football back to those respective divisions, and that the football in that particular division brings the people together and then it can be played issue-free.
Some of the elected divisional presidents says they are determined to develop football in their divisions.
There are so many things I have done on ground already, and I am not going to relent my effort. Make sure the football in my division grows better. I will not want to play out of my division. I said my league was going to play in my division, which happened. Many teams are already preparing to come up again next year.
I want to say that I strongly believe that with what
we have produced in Mezam before. As of now, the community of Mezam should be expecting to have something more. We are going to produce a league that will compete even with the Northwest Regional League. That is a promise to the entire fans of Mezam. The outgoing president was a very close and understanding boss. I really appreciate everything that he did for the division. We worked together hand in glove. We did not have any misunderstanding up to this point.
I wish to launch my league next year in Momo. I want to play there. I want the community to feel the love of football, what the other sub-divisions have been feeling. We all know for a time now we have been playing the divisional leagues in Mezam. But I want to go back to Momo. I want us to play there. I want us to make football come back in that division. So I believe with the team I have here, we are going to do our best and we are going to take Momo division to where it belongs.
At the close of the exercise, the outgoing Northwest Fecafoot president, Jeff Tapasi, announced his interest to stand as the regional president of Fecafoot for the Northwest region. The three delegates elected to represent their respective divisional leagues will make the decisions during the regional elections on October 22, 2025, which will also elect the regional delegates for the national elections.
All right, thank you so much, Arnold Kwamo, for that exceptional report on the Northwest Divisional elections, which took place beginning, first of all, with the protest that happened just before the elections, but we'll not dwell much more on that, but we are focusing on the divisional elections, which took place and had to vote some executives into the various divisional leagues. Lakel, we highlighting this particular point, and now focusing on why the divisional league, which is ongoing in Momo, is actually not taking place in Momo but in Mezam. I know for sure that you're one of the stakeholders with particularly to the Momo division, and we had the president-elect there, Tama Collins, who highlighted a particular aspect, saying that he wished that the league be played in Momo surely from next football season.
The league is definitely going to play Momo next football season. To answer to your question, Tassi Peter, we all know the previous person of Momo Divisional League was not really there to answer questions on ground, because Momo is a red zone when it comes to this crisis. Sure. We need to be very, very careful not to endanger the lives of some players, because we have some people who are from Momo who are based here and they have teams here. So we had to take into consideration those people, and we had to look at a lot of things when it comes to security. Yeah. But at this point in time, by that time, Tama Collins was the vice president of Momo Divisional League. I'm sure he's now versed with Momo, and he's ready to make football happen in that particular division.
We hope for the best in Momo division. Samuel Atigi, we have the league in Donga Mantung that is being played over there in Donga Mantung, and then we have the president-elect of the Mezam, who states clearly that he's going to promise to organize one of the best divisional leagues, even surpassing that of the regional football league.
Yes, all what I call for is for people to give them the opportunity, the chance, the push into for these guys to make sure they organize their divisional leagues in their various divisions. Yes, because for time past now, a lot of them have not been able to do this in their divisions, but if given the opportunity, I think is going to work so well. Like for someone like Tama Collins, I've met him in Momo division a couple of times, and though not from Momo division, but I think with his love for the people of Momo, the way he attends a football, the holiday jamboree that has been organized by Momo elites, I think he's going to deliver so well.
Okay. Anyway, and no comments again from the divisional league elections that took place that was last weekend. We are now going to be focusing on our second topic on board today's edition of NDAMBA on GPmEDIA television. We're focusing on the national interpolls. We know exactly all what is transpiring with the Northwestern representative just ending their encounter just a few minutes ago. They were playing against Sable de Bati, who are making a comeback in the football scene in Cameroon. But we're not dwelling about that first. We're going to be looking at the Appeals Commission, Lakel, the verdict on Mintak versus Kumba City. First, we know that last week we're talking about the game, and definitely after which there was crowd trouble, and we know exactly what transpired with the homologation committee of FECAFOOT deciding that the game will be rescheduled, and after which Kumba City had to appeal, and for that decision to be overturned, and they had to win that particular appeal by 3 goals against Mintak and plus of 3 points in their game, and leading them up to the finals. And to note that we had 10 players of Mintak FC de Haut-Sanaga were suspended definitely from football-related activities.
That's it, Peter. We were here when that action actually happened with Danga Mundi and his colleagues. The verdict, I must say, football have rules and regulation. I knew this will happen when it comes to that particular circumstance. I knew this was to happen. Now, my problem is that why are we only sanctioning players and those who belong to the teams? Because referees always ignite the emotions and angers of fans and the rest. I think we should. It has been a trend in Cameroon now, bad officiating when it comes to the referee. Now, I knew the disciplinary committee is right by giving that match to the Southwest team, but then I want to stress on this fact that in Cameroonian football we should also discipline the referees, even though we don't have everything put in place, but we can do it because the referees now are actually going out of hand. It's frustrating. Having a team, you put in money, you put in energy, and to support a team too. There are fans who put in their energy, they put in their money just to see a referee ruin their dreams because of one decision.
Now we'll be advocating for a VAR to be put in place.
Of course, let's have a VAR so we can see it clearly. I believe we had one in the Northwest Regional League. Everything was clear. Nobody argued. The champions during that season went forth and represented the region. We should have that, please. Because looking at the game today, Dream Team, I'm just looking like this because I was supposed to be here smiling and saying we qualified, because I was confident that Dream Team is moving or is picking up an Elite 2 ticket today. But to my greatest surprise, we saw a lot of controversies from the referee, Tassi Peter. I don't know if you watched that penalty before coming into the studio. I'm sure we were watching that game. That particular penalty, do you think it was something that could, that act warranted a penalty? Those are things that we see in football as fans, and our angers are being ignited, which is not good.
Exactly, Lakel. We know that many fans have been putting forth their cries on social media with regards to the particular game this afternoon, which did not go right to its end. But I'll plead on Atiki to give us some few seconds. We'll be having a short break, and as we come back, we shall be getting to Nelson Chefo, who is over there in Yaoundé, and watch the encounter Sable de Bati against Dream Team FC, the representative of the Northwest region. To note already that the game ended 1 goal on either side with no winner decided as we speak at the moment. So let's have a short break. As we come back, we shall be listening to Nelson Chefo, who is part and parcel of the Interpost over there in Yaoundé.
Des personnes à même de pouvoir, voilà, penalty pour Sable de Bati, penalty pour Sable de Bati, penalty pour Sable de Bati, des personnes à même de pouvoir, voilà, Penalty pour Sable Battier. Penalty pour Sable Battier.
All right, thank you so very much. You're welcome back on NDAMBA on GPmEDIA television. Just like we said, we are going to be listening now to Nelson Chefo, who is over there in Yaoundé. He watched the encounter in the semi-finals that was to pave a way for the lone team between the two teams to decide who is to move into the Elite 2 Soccer Championship. But as we speak, we don't have a winner yet. And the team that will be moving on to the Interpol, maybe Nelson Chefo, you're highly welcome to join us on board to this edition live on NDAMBA.
Thank you very much, Tassi Peter. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to all the viewers of GPmEDIA. It's a pleasure, as usual, to always be there to give my own contribution as far as football is concerned.
Exactly, Engineer Chema, maybe you want to tell us exactly what transpired between the game Sable de Battier against Dream Team FC, the representative of the Northwest region.
Well, Peter, it was a show of shame, a show of disgrace on the part of the organizers of this particular tournament, because we saw an officiating that favored the opponents of Dream Team, that is Sable de Battier. You know, we've been hearing rumors that in fact, when the season started, that Sable de Battier and Kumba City are the two teams that will be promoted to the Elite 2 Championship, and definitely from all indication that it's going to happen, because we saw a Dream team this afternoon that was resilient. The guys fought very good fight, I should say. They played like warriors, and despite the fact that match officials were not on their side, we counted a total of 20 offside situations, offside situations that were not even visible, that were taken by a certain Mayong Bienvenue. It's a name that that has been noted for controversial decisions in the various championships in Cameroon. We counted a total of 20 offsides that were taken against Dream Team in the second half of that competition. Luckily, Dream Team scored a goal that nobody could refuse. And when the penalty was awarded to Sable de Battier, the penalty, in fact, it was nowhere near a penalty. The replay of that action is everywhere on the social media. You can check for yourself, and you realize that it was nowhere near a penalty. But the gods of football, they were on the side of Dream Team this afternoon, because the player took the penalty and did not score. So, and we even noticed that the goalkeeper of Dream Team was off his line before he made that save. The referees did not take the call for the penalty to be retaken. Those are some of the things that happened. Even in the second half of the encounter, there were several opportunities for the referee to award other penalties, but I'm not sure, out of fear or whatever, he could not do that. But at the end, the match ended after 90 minutes. It was 1 goal on either side, Peter. If you want to check the rules and regulations of the competition, I just want to quote the particular article of that competition in the rules and regulations of Regional League for the 2024-25 season. In chapter 35, article 93, where it talks about the national interpols. The rules are clear that during the semi-finals of the competition, if the teams are tied as far as the goals are concerned, if the match is level after 90 minutes, they are supposed to move to prolongation or extra time, and they play 15-2. That is stated. It's clear in the rules and regulations. But every match, still from the rules and regulations, the match commissioner is in charge of every match. Is the boss of every match. So Dream Team is arguing, or they argued that during the pre-match technical meeting that took place 3 hours before the match commissioner, who happens to be the boss of the match, announced that they are going to waive aside the rules and regulations and they will move to penalty shootout after 90 minutes in case of a tie. So that was the argument that Dream Team was presenting when the match ended after 90 minutes. When the match officials insisted the Dream Team players, they were sitting in the field of play, and the match officials did not return again for the match to continue. And so both teams left the field of play, and it's now left for the Federal Homologation and Discipline Commission of the Cameroon Football Federation to decide the fate of that encounter. But definitely there is no proof anywhere that the match commissioner said what he said. So I'm sure extra sanctions are going to be meted out on Dream Team, and the match is going to be awarded to Samuel Baggy, and they are going to qualify for second division championship. I left the field in anger, Peter, because the second match was nothing near a football match, because the match where the team is playing good football, the match officials will not allow the team to play. I'm talking about Titanic FC of Sama from the Littoral region. So they scored 2 brilliant goals, and imaginary offside decisions were taken against them. So I just have to leave the field in anger, Peter. So definitely that's just what I can say about the national interposed semi-finals that I witnessed this afternoon.
Well, from your comments, Engineer Sinchefo, thank you so very much. And we want to find out from you, Daniel hopes that maybe the homologation decision might favor Dream Team FC for the game to either continue from the penalty spot or from the prolongation of the encounter.
Peter, you are not new to decisions that have been taken by this particular homologation commission in the past few weeks. So I don't see since it was already rumored that Tableau Bate will qualify to the second division championship. I don't see any chance. It now depends on what the referees are going to indicate on their match report. The referees and the referee and the match commissioner. It now depends on what they are going to It's going to be considered that Dream Team abandoned the match, and sanctions are going to be meted out.
Well, anyway, it's a sad studio here already with some long faces, given that we're hoping that there will be good news after Dream Team were equally leading in that particular game against Sable de Bate. The population as well will be left indifferent from the long faces they'll be having after getting such a report. But anyway, it is Sport Manly and it is all about football. This part we know exactly what is transpiring within Cameroonian football and the involvement of referees and their decisions. I want to thank you so very much, Nelson. Maybe just quick comments about the Northwest Divisional Football League, which I know for sure you did witness.
Yes, on Saturday we had elections at the level of the divisional football leagues all over the country, and the Northwest was not different. Peter, I want to reserve my comments on that, but I just want to say that if this is the way we want to manage football in that particular region, then trust me, we're going to have more problems as far as football is concerned, because we cannot be having putting our family members, putting our wives, putting our sisters as delegates to make decisions around football in a particular division. Those are some of the irregularities that I took note of. So Peter, I'm an insider, so I would not want to make some kind of declarations about that particular elections. But I just want to wish all those who were elected. I was one of those who were standing as a candidate for the position of president in the Mezam Divisional League, and I had to step down on the day of elections for personal reasons that I will not want to share on air. So those are things that we we hold dear to our heart, because football is one of the things that gives us joy as far as that particular region is concerned. So we just have to wish those who are elected good luck in their endeavor, and let us support them so that they can go ahead and do good football in that particular region.
Well, thank you so very much, and G. Nelson Chefo, for being part and parcel on board today's edition of NDAMBA.
Thank you very much for having me, Peter. Greetings to my good friend Activity Samuel, and to everyone who is watching.
And we have also Lenzemo Lakel.
Yes, Lakel, special greetings to you. Lakel is one of the resilient ladies that we have in the region. And it's very rare to see women talking about football or reporting football. She is one of those who has taken football as part and parcel of her.
Thank you so very much, Nelson Chefo.
Thank you.
All right, we listened there to G. Nelson Chefo on board NDAMBA on GPmEDIA television. Detailed to us exactly the scenario what transpired just shortly between the game Samuel Debati against the representative of the region, that's Dream Team FC of Bamenda, and definitely the second game, which he says that many of them did not equally want to watch the match because of the poor officiating. An officiating issue again, Lakel, which still comes in play with regards to the level of the interpose. Can we say that the referees have not learned? It's a sad situation. We don't encourage such, but they not learned from the situation of Tangamonti of last week?
I want to go by Nelson. It's like they have instruction from somebody, because it's not a coincidence that these instances keep going on in Cameroonian football. I must say there must be someone behind it, or something. That is all I can say. But before that, I want to applaud the expertise of the goalkeeper of the match today for Dream Team. That is Emmanuel Alade.
Yeah.
I'm sure you watched him play today. He made a lot of saves, and of course that penalty that I'm not even happy about. He had to save the penalty, and I was shouting, beautiful, beautiful, back to sender and the rest. So I really want to applaud him. I also want to applaud Peruda and Dicha.
Exactly.
He has been one of those people who has always find the back of the net when it comes to Dream Team FC. I really want to congratulate them. No matter the decision of the homologation committee, I want to say, Tassi Peter, we were well represented at the National Interpose. We deserved to pick up a ticket at the National Interpose. Looking at our performance, we had a lot of good players, and the rest, I'm sure most of you who watched the match today, you guys were surprised that Leonard, the goalkeeper, who was always been there for Dream Team, did not start, but we've seen how Emmanuel Alade performed. I'm sure he's not a new name because he has been able to qualify teams in the region to Tassi Peter.
Any comments, Atigi Samuel?
Yes, Tassi Peter, just to cue in from where Lakel dropped his comment, I want to say that these referees are Christians or Muslims. So when you are a referee, yes, they are either Christian or Muslims or pagans.
Okay.
But when you are appointed or given the opportunity to serve the population, to serve in this football encounter, make sure you serve in the best of your ability. Don't let people mislead you. This Dream Team issue has been coming year in, year out. They have struggled to get to that level, and you know how we in the Northwest region we've been battered by crisis. For you to sponsor a team to get to that level is not really easy, and then
everything is being shattered by
referees. It's really wrong. I think that the homologation committee, they should also look into this matter detailedly and see how they can sanction the referees.
Samuel Atigi, we know that for some time now, even during the League 1 and League 2, we've not had referees being sanctioned, despite they being contributing to spoil several encounters.
This is really ridiculous, I must say it. Why should they do that? People have spent their money to lead these young people up there to make sure they excel in their talents and then you come and puncture their dreams like that. It's not really good. The homologation committee or another article should be added into the FECAFOOT rules and regulations to make sure that referees who go out of the normal what they are supposed to do should be sanctioned. They should be disciplined. Yes, that's it. You are pursuing a career and then you come and destroy another person's career. Is that really fair? I don't think that. So they should look for a way to that sanctions to be meted on these referees.
Well, we'll be keeping our ears to the ground to find out much more about what is transpiring at the national interpose. But as we know right now, we have the game that are taking place. We have Titanic against Kumba City, the team that equally won the appeals through the appeals commission, which paved the way to the move to the semi-finals of the ongoing national interpose. So right now, we'll be engaging now in our third topic on board today's edition of NDAMBA. We are highlighting the particular aspect of club recruitment. We know that there's been a lot of talk about an open recruitment being done by several clubs in Cameroon, and the region is not left out in that. So many clubs who have been engaged in an open recruitment. So we find out this afternoon about the open recruitment policy engaged in by so many clubs in Cameroon. Is it worthwhile? Is the question which I'll be posing to my guests on board today's edition of NDAMBA. And then we're tackling the particular case of Aitabong ladies on Cambe. We know that they have engaged in an open recruitment for players to join the team in Douala and as well here in Bamenda, specifically in Mile 3 Nkwen, where they will be engaged in an open recruitment. So that's from where we are taking this particular topic. We are beginning with you, Lenzemo Lakel.
Of course, it's a good initiative, Tassi Peter. We have a lot of talents out there that we've not yet explored when it comes to the world of football. I must say, Aitabong is one of those female teams that is making the Northwest region proud, and we need a lot of good players, a lot of good players to take that particular team higher. Like I said, is a very good initiative, and I want to encourage all the ladies out there who are, if you're interested in football, you're good and you want to be a player, this is your chance. Take the opportunity and enroll in that recruiting process. One never knows, you might be the best defender, the best midfielder, or the best forward. Grab the opportunity.
But Lakel, is this process necessary in this modern age of football?
It is.
Yeah, in Cameroon and in the region specifically.
It is necessary because when it comes to female football, it is underexplored.
Yeah,
it's not like the male football that you find a lot of players. You watch them in the regional league, and
but Lakel, we had the second division championship in the region, the women's league.
Yes, we had the
which
women's division
produced some very good players.
Yeah. Of course.
Roma Mata going out of the region.
We've seen a lot of them.
Person knew that he will be joining Aitabong some Cambe.
We've seen a lot of them moving away from the region to other clubs. You're not new to football, Tassi Peter. Your contract, when it's better, it determines where you're going to, the terms and agreement and the rest. We've seen a lot of players in the region when it comes to this particular season. But like I'm saying, we have a lot of women out there who are interested in football and they don't know how to begin. They don't have godmothers or godfathers. That is why I say this process for me is actually important for Aitabong to add to players that they have, because I'm sure the coach watched the championship here in the region and will definitely be going for some players, and he has been watching the Guinness Super League as well. He'll be moving for players at that level. If they're doing this open recruitment, that is the belief that there are ladies out there with talent and they want to give them that opportunity.
Anyway, you say it's a good process. That's your own point of view, as well as many persons will want to believe. We had fans of PWT, if I want to date back, to the months where we had the league, which ended a month ago. We had fans of PWT who were complaining about the particular aspect of an open recruitment. Maybe we'll take about this topic again, maybe some other time. But anyway, like Atiki Samuel, just some few comments with regards to Itabolis of Kambe in this open recruitment which they are organizing in Douala, in the Littoral region, and here in Bamenda in Mathri.
Yes, I want to laud their initiative for opening up calls for professionals to come into their teams to see how they can aid, and see how these football activities can move on in the region and in their club. So I want to also plead with those who are recruiting and also those who have been recruited that they should use their consciences, consciences in the fact that they shouldn't just take any type of person because the person has bribed or the person is a family member or a relative or a friend to a friend and all of that. They should take those who can perform well and give them the due respect, pay their due salary or whatever they are signed in for. Because one thing that hampers these players is that sometimes you just go and pick anyone and then their contracts we heard is not verified though. But if you are to pay a player 500,000 a year, you decide that I'm going to pay
salary is 50,000 for the Guinness Women's Super League. Good.
You decide to slash the salary. The player might sign the salary and then you take part to yourself. These are the things that we strongly discourage as a humanitarian actor. So give the player what he or she really deserves. Use your conscience when you're recruiting players, I beg your pardon, to your team.
Okay. Any you have some comment like that?
No comment, Tassi Peter. I just want to clue in with what Tigi was saying. I want to beg on management. They should actually work to better the living conditions of these players because at times when a player don't perform, there are other things they do away from the field just to earn money and take care of their family. That is, I will call on everybody. In the case of PWC, I don't want to go there. We'll keep that for another day. We are going to talk about that another time. Very soon, we are going to be having the next season. So we'll have time to talk about that. So the management in charge of these clubs, please take care of your players because they are the actors. They are the actors. They want to give you what you want, so you have to take care of them.
Exactly. We all wish and hope for the best for Itabolis of Kambe, knowing fully well that the region had dished out a representative in the name of Abaka Sports Academy, but they could not make it surpass the level of the national interpools in the female category. So where we also had some good exploits this season, like hell, if you watch the league from Pressure Ladies, we have also the formidable newcomers in the league. That's St. Michael Sports Academy and Hilltop Strikers FA of Bamenankwe ladies, who were part and parcel of the just ended season of the Women's Second Division Championship in the Northwest region. From there, we shall be moving on to our very last topic on board today's edition of NDAMBA. But notwithstanding, let's just highlight about the CAF Champions League, that the CAF Cup competitions anyway in a whole, which will be commencing from this Friday. We have the Cameroonian side, Aigle Royal de la Menoir, who are part and parcel of the CAF Confederations Cup. They are up against FC San Pedro of Ivory Coast. And then we have the champions of the League One Soccer Championship, Column of the Jar and Lobo against ASC Giraffe. So that's the pairing for this weekend with regards to Cameroonian clubs. And don't also miss out that we had FC Bolowa, who also won their very first game at the level of the UNIFAC qualifiers to the CAF Women's Champions League. In this, I will shall be highlighting much more about that on board NDAMBA. But let's now focus on our last topic on board today's edition. We're looking at the CAF Champions League. We know that we have many Cameroonians who are part and parcel of the various leagues over there in Europe. So we would like to go into watch this particular intervention and reaction from a football fan and also a sport analyst with regards to his intervention, with regards to his team or teams over there in Europe playing the Champions League, with regards, that's the UEFA, to be precise, the UEFA Champions League, which is on day one, and we already have some very interesting results recorded so far. Let's listen to the interaction of Desmond Atey.
Viewers of GPmEDIA, I'm very grateful to be on set this afternoon. You know, the Champions League was very interesting. We had a very fine night, starting with Liverpool. You can see me with my jersey here. We gave Atletico what they needed yesterday at Anfield. We won by 3-0. Virgil van Dijk, the captain of Liverpool, kept the night very interesting for us. We won. That's very good for us. You can see me with my jersey right now. And other matches, I followed Bayern Munich and Chelsea. It was a very interesting derby. Chelsea did all they could, but Bayern was so powerful yesterday. The night was very interesting to an extent where Bayern Munich trashed them 3-1. And Paris Saint-Germain against Atalanta was also a very beautiful game to watch yesterday in the Champions League. So it was a very interesting night yesterday. We are just hoping that today, though we have interesting fixtures like Manchester City versus Napoli, and they'll be playing at Etihad. That's the most interesting thing. But what would Manchester City do? Are they going to win Napoli? Because remember, Kevin De Bruyne was sold by Manchester City to Napoli. What is he going to do today, this evening? That's my focus. That's the game for me this evening. I cannot stop watching that game. It's a very interesting game to watch this evening. But I'll also take time to watch FC Barcelona, because they will travel to St. James Park this evening to face Newcastle United, the underdogs, after Alexander Isak left for Liverpool. What will Newcastle prove to the world today? It's going to be an interesting game. I like the football that FC Barcelona is playing, but I will be very interesting to watch Manchester City versus Napoli this evening. So the Thursday for me, it's going to be very interesting night. Thank you very much.
All right, so we listened there to the interaction there from Desmond Atey. He was interviewed there by Atiki Samuel, who is right here with regards to the UEFA Champions League, which is ongoing for match day one. We got the analysis from Desmond Atey, a football analyst and sport fan, and definitely we will not dwell much about that, given that we already at the verge of ending on board today's edition of NDAMBA on GPmEDIA television. But before we take our leave, let's focus on this particular sad news about the passing on of Haji Raisu, who we learned that this afternoon he had to pass on. He's been suffering from an injury. His dream team, to qualify to the national interpose. Is rather unfortunate that he was not part and part. Just before the start of the interpose, he sustained what we can call an injury, and that was just all about him, and which he had to pass on today. Maybe just some very quick seconds. Atigi Samuel.
Yes, it has been rumored that he passed on. Some people say it's due to injury, but I think it's Africa magic or tradition, black magic. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
But I strongly discourage this in every strong term, that it is wrong. You see someone with a talent, God-given talent, you do whatever thing you do charms on him, you try to poison him, you try to destroy it. It's very wrong. Those who did this, let me just be open enough. Are they going to replace him? Are they going to take his place? Are they going to give another Raisu to their parents? It is very wrong. I don't know how an injury like of that sort. I've not seen such an injury that someone's leg rots from the toe, cannot be cured. Even with experts in the medical experts, from toe to almost the chest level. I saw the images when he was in the hospital in pains, and all I can say, it is very wrong to do that. We don't encourage this in Africa. It is wrong. Why should you do this to someone's child?
Lakel, we know that this particular player has been a key, and we must also laud the aspect of the Northwest football family, who has also, since he sustained a particular type of an injury, we had the Northwest football family who has been always close to him, and even before him passing on, we had recently we had Manco United FC, who had to engage in supporting the player, as well as other football stakeholders who equally saw to it that his treatment will go on hitch-free, but it's rather unfortunate.
Rest in peace, Raizu Haji. We usually call him Sufu Sufu for TikTok.
Oh my God.
He was a very, very good player.
Yeah.
I remember when he made Rainbow FC cry the day we qualified. Hilltop Strikers qualified for the national interpost. He's a very good player when he's a game planner in the midfield.
Yeah.
He's a very good player, a name known in the Northwest region. What I'll tell, I don't want, like Atigi was saying, all of us, we are going to die. Sure. So if you are responsible for this, just know you will die too. We are not immortal. All of us are mortals. Raizu, rest in peace.
Thank you so very much, Lakel. Thank you so very much, Atigi, on board today's edition of NDAMBA. I want to thank you so very much, and equally want to thank our producers on board today's edition of NDAMBA. Arnold Kwamo, Darlington Martins, Desmond Atem was also back there as well, and the hosts of so many of you out there who also gave us your participation and collaboration on board today's edition of NDAMBA. We keep ameliorating and wish for much more of your comments to help us strengthen the program to grow in higher heights. Thank you so very much, Lakel.
Thank you for having me, Tassi Peter, and thank you, viewers. Hope you enjoyed the program. We'll be here next week.
Thank you so much, Atigi Samuel.
You're welcome, Tassi Peter.
All right, he said that we call it quit on board today's edition of NDAMBA. Next week promises to be an explosive one, given that we shall be discussing diverse issues in the world of sports. And we're also going to be promising you again today that we shall be doing everything possible to bring you details about the national interpose as well as other sporting disciplines. We hear of the Shatabia International Cycling Tour, which is on. We shall bring you details about that, and the men's under-20 African volleyball championship, which is ongoing in Cairo in Egypt. And do stay blessed for more programs comes up on GPmEDIA television. It is bye bye for now.